This video is brought to you by CoolstuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock.
Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and today in the arena, well, you know, we did the whole Esper thing. I made like 2.5 hour blue-white control video. I did the Esper Exile yesterday. I made 2 videos with it, actually. One that's up for YouTube members, patrons, and Twitch Prime subscribers. So, okay. This is that time in the format where we get it out of our system, and all of you red mages, the couple of you who still watch me, even though I mercilessly make fun of mono red, the couple of you that still endure it and are fans of the channel anyway, okay. You get to make fun of me as I attempt to play mono red. Not quite mono red. This deck does have a few twists to it. This is my take on the new aggressive red style, and most of it is very straightforward. I don't have to explain much about Fervent Champion, Shock, Light Up the Stage, Bone Crusher Giant, Runaway Steamkin to ya. Let's talk about Rixmati Reveler. So the first person I saw doing this was Erin Barrich, who has a podcast, Hardcast MTG. And what she was pointing out is that you just have to get to an end game. Either Torbran or Embercleave have to win the game around turn 4-ish, and that's all that matters. It doesn't really matter which one it is, it just matters that you get there. So Rixmati Reveler gets you a card closer in the case of non-spectacle, and 3 cards closer in the case of spectacle. So we play that instead of any of the other like Rimrock Knight silly 2-drops that we could be playing, and hope to get to our end game and smooth out our draws. Also over here we have Annex Hardened in the Forge, which is a 3-mana 0/3, but it's actually a 2/3 because its power is equal to Devotion to Red. And whenever a non-token creature you control dies, create a 1/1 Satyr that can't block. If the creature had 4 power or greater, create 2. This is a great combo with Embercleave, a great combo with Torbran, a great combo with the Castle Embereth. We also have 3 copies of Phoenix of Ash, so red and 2, +2/+0 until end of turn, escape, exile 3 other cards, escapes with a counter. So these are the new cards we're playing, and they are quite good, to take a merchant phrase. Then we have 3 Torbrans, because legendary and a 4-drop, and 4 Embercleaves to just cleave them. So that's the deck. I am going to take these out. I had them in yesterday, and I remember not liking them, but I actually forgot to swap them at the last minute, which I very well meant to. And yeah. I think that's our deck. You could run the 4th castle. I'm always nervous I'll get hands of like Castle Embereth, and otherwise a very playable, keepable hand. So I run 3. But this card is amazing with the Annex tokens, and that it's kind of better now than it was before because you didn't really go wide before, but now you do. So yeah, let's take this little red beating out there and let the nonsense begin. No, I'm not sick. I'm just not ready to share the hair with the world. I got my hair cut, and nope, not ready. Not ready to show you. I'm nervous. Will you still love me? Will I lose your love? I don't know. So we're gonna put it off for a day. Get you to watch this video and maybe come back to tomorrow's video. It's not a tactic at all. This hand is good. If we draw another mountain, we'll discard that to Reveler. If we draw another expensive card, we'll discard that to Reveler. So the curve is right there on the play. I-ho silver! Away! Yeah, I better think hard about this keep, opponent. Because you're gonna be dead before your head hits the pillow on turn 4. Haha. Climb up on my faithful steed. Alright. Boom. Hit. Mountain. I already said what I'm doing with that. Let's attack first. Sweet. I mean, just trading in what would be a flood for some gas. Big plays. Big plays from Rixmati Reveler. Underrated little guy. The other card you could run if you don't want to craft these, if you maybe never crafted the rare, you can run Ember Hauler, which is uncommon. Perfectly fine in this spot. Ride. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, feel the burn, everybody. No, not pacifism. Anything but pacifism. Okay. Do we cleave him? Do we always cleave him in this spot? We could also play the Bone Crusher Giant. Plan to cleave him with the Giant for a ton more damage. It just feels like you take your shots when you get your shots, right? In this case, it's like playing a 4/4 haste. I think that's pretty good. Plus, we have the free equip to the champion if the opponent does something about the Reveler. Grr. Free equip. Hype. So, that gets him for 4, and they're dead. Good thing I carefully thought about that. Red deck beats pacifism into pacifism. Feels dirty. Feels disgusting. I'm not even enjoying it. Well, no 2-drop. I guess we could hit this tap land into Annex into Torbran or Cleave, which is far from bad. It's very strong. Yeah, I think we still keep it. I don't like being on the draw without a removal of some kind, because our Fervent Champion might do nothing in the face of anything from a Nessian Wanderer and a Gilded Goose to a Leafkin Druid, but we'll give it a try. My little pony, my little pony. I never watched the new My Little Pony, not even once. Do they still have the theme song? Theme song is what I remember. Temple of Abandon, give up. Go home, just abandon. Nice, we drew the 2. We might have to choose with Reveler between Torbran and Embercleave. That's a tough choice. Like, I love you both. I love you both so much. And by that, I mean I hate you. Land? I think we just pitch one of the lands. Do we pitch the Blood Crypt because we're up against this deck and damage might matter? It's so unlikely to matter, I'm just going to pitch it. Like, the odds of drawing another Reveler and needing the Spectacle, like, you just almost never Spectacle this card. So, yeah, don't be afraid of a play like this. The beast has been struck by love. Crap. Whatever will we do? Let's harden in the forge and stuff. You look like you could use a sword. I mean, that's a nice axe, but you'd look really good in pictures with a sword. I will not block. You may 5 me. Up top. Help collecting, huh? Lighting the stage. Not what I expected. Probably should have played that before the collector. You would have more options. But if there's a land in hand, I guess they still have their options. Really interesting to see if they go for this ambush or if they hold up the Bone Crusher Giant. Either way, I think I still get to smash upon them. You're going to take out the forge? Alright. So here, they have a Bone Crusher Giant that they can hold up for next turn. We can play another Hardened in the Forge and try to set up our Embercleave, or we can run out Torbrand. Torbrand's a lot of damage. Also pretty hard to deal with. Let's send the message. Let's send a message. If the opponent trades their 1/1s, Lovestruck Beast becomes a very passive critter. Wow. Down to 8. Down to 8. With probably a cleave coming next turn. I'm really curious if they have another ambush to deal with this Torbrand or not, though. That's a lot of what this is going to come down to. They keep on top. All right, we got to close this baby. That tap land hurts, though. They can't Bone Crusher and play Bone Crusher. They can't Stomp and Bone. That doesn't sound right. Sure. Okay. Now there's no attacking with that Lovestruck Beast. That's a good draw. See if we can kill you. Something's going unblocked. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Because it's +3 each time it deals damage, so it's going to deal damage twice. With a +1/+1. So yeah, goes to 2, so it deals 4, then 4. I don't know where I got 10. Oh, because it's 3. Yeah, it's 2+. So this deals 2, then it deals 2 more. Then it deals 2, then it deals 2 more. Okay. Wait. Got him. Maybe I could come around to this red life. I mean, the opponent did just play a 3-mana 5/5 on the play. They also had 2 removal spells in Domri's Ambush and Stomp, and we just killed him. It's not so bad. Not so bad. Sure. We have a light up the stage. This hand will turn out fabulous. Ride! 3 for 3 on turn 1 Fervent Champion so far. Feels good, man. Does that count as 4 for 4 if my opponent did it too? I'm just gonna shock and Bone Crush something. I'm gonna try to hold off on the light up the stage. I've got a good use for it, but I'm gonna give the opponent a second here. Oh, they also run black. They could have a runaway Steamkin. What else does black play? Priest of the Forgotten Gods? Not here. This is Knights. So if they play... I guess Knight of the Ebon Legion is something I'm avoiding. They probably don't have light up the stage, so taking 1 isn't a big deal. I'm definitely giving away that I have a Bone Crusher, so I don't know if they'll play into it or play around it now. No, they play into it. Cool. Set ourselves up to potentially Embercleave next turn and put a big body in our opponent's way. Bones, sure. Pretty slow card at this spot. Still attacking. Blacklands Paragon. Alright. So we gotta keep that in mind. Phoenix of Ash. So we can play the Phoenix and attack into the Blacklands Paragon and have our Embercleave ready for next turn, which should leave our opponent at 14, then 5, 10, not quite dead. We can also attack with a Fervent Champion, cast Light up the stage. If we hit a land, we get to play our Phoenix of Ash, and then it's on defense. That might be okay. We have to play as if our opponent has Blacklands Paragon, so we don't want to attack with a Bone Crusher Giant anyway. And we're at 13, so having a defensive Phoenix isn't the worst idea, but we can still attack with the Fervent Champ. The opponent's not going to want to put a Paragon in front of this. No land. We could still try to hit it with the Reveler, but I think getting the Steamkin down makes sense. Well, do you have the Embercleave? I guess you do. Well, the opponent can deal me 10. I guess we're doing something like this to try to make sure we stay alive. And then we have to draw removal for the Paragon. Or not. So what could we still hit? We could still hit Bone Crusher Giant, right? We could also play the Tauren, which has 4 toughness, and the whole team combined could absorb the Paragon. It doesn't have Death Touch. It would if they had another Blacklands Paragon. If I play you, and I don't hit, do I lose? 6 toughness. 8 power. No, not necessarily. So I think we go for this play. That's unfortunate. Alright, D up. Hope the opponent doesn't have anything once this part of their game plan is spent. We're going to 1, and if they have anything, we lose. Okay. See, what could I have done differently? I could have held back the Fervent Champion the turn we took an attack. I don't think it would have changed much. Still think getting the light up the stage was right. Alright. See their follow-up here. Got her bones. Got her bones. 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess I have to hit a shock. So if I play the Tauren and this equips, I die. Right? No. Yes, the first strike damage and then the follow-up damage. Yes, I would. So I need to Phoenix of Ash, hit my opponent, and reveal a shock. On the other hand, I could straight cast this light up the stage and reveal a Bone Crusher Giant or a shock. I feel like if I don't play the Phoenix, though, I'm not playing to win. So I think we have to play to win. Because we need pressure on the opponent. We can't defend for too long. And that's game. Well, another turn 1 Fervent Champion. Shock. You were missing before. This time you will have a chance to shine. Not a lot of our powerful cards are payoffs. We're really relying on these shocks to be good. And that depends on the opponent. And we're on the draw, so it's already an uphill climb. But I think we give it a shot. Boom. Fervent freaking Champion. How you doing? So, what's the Dismal Backwater up to? Do we have the Thought Erasure? The Agonizing Remorse? The Erasure would definitely take a Bone Crusher Giant. The Remorse would probably take the Phoenix. Phoenix is one of our best hopes against control, as it keeps coming back. It keeps them under a lot of pressure. Looks like Esper it is. Just going to Bone Crush them now and get this safely into exile. Into the Adventure Zone. There is a chance that they could play a blue source pass, and then if I end step Bone Crush them, they absorb it. We wouldn't want that. We would not like that. If something's going to get absorbed, we want it to be the Phoenix because we can get it back. Blue source. Oath of Kaya. Even though I have a Bone Crusher Giant, that's interesting. Which is it? So the opponent might have an exile effect, in which case I want to play this when I can also shock it, but at the same time they might also have Teferi. The Phoenix is a fine retort to Teferi if that's what the opponent has, but if I play the Phoenix this turn and they have Teferi, I get damage in. This is a tough call. If they played the Oath, they might have another one, which is why they didn't wait for the Bone Crusher Giant. This is a really tough call. Alright, I'm going to go for the Phoenix. I feel like they have Teferi. Doom Foretold is another thing they might have here. And just making sure that we're moving the clock, getting damage in when we can. I think that's how you play red. Is that how you play red? I don't know. I don't know these things. I see you. I see you, Teferi. Steamkin's interesting, but I think this is Shock Your Teferi. And Phoenix of Ash. We don't want to Ash attack the Fairy because it creates a drain from Oath of Kaya. We are way behind though. We've done almost no damage and they've only played a pair of 3-drops. This is what being on the draw does. Being on the draw sucks. Our opponent should have half this life total. Half, I say. Of course. Why wouldn't it be Ashiok? Makes sense. So I think we can safely get rid of Runaway Steamkin. It's just not going to be a good card in this matchup ever. Same story over here. Get rid of Ashiok. Keep pushing damage. Kind of cheering for Esper. I can't even lie. Okay, you Tyrant scorned it during my main phase. Why? It's weird. A weird play. They know I can just get it back. Or do they not know? New card after all. Possible they missed that. You want to destroy it during my attack step. You bin the Dream Trawler, so they already have a Dream Trawler is what I'm taking from this, and they need the land. So we could play Bone Crusher and Reveler. Our opponent probably has a Wrath, though. I think it's worth a try because we get to draw a card off this Reveler. Remember, if you play it as your last card, you still get the card. And now we're set up pretty sweet if our opponent lets Torbrand do its thing, if they don't Wrath. If they have Shattered the Sky, the Bone Crusher draws a card. So, we'll see what they've got. I thought they might have another Oath of Kaya. That still may be the case, that they're saving it for the Giant. Boo. Okay. Come on back. Let's get you, let's get the damage. We can also decide whether or not to play out the land. I like holding it because of Ashiok. There are, next turn I could play it if I want to pump the Phoenix. Alright, whatever you do, don't exile my Phoenix. My bird is sacred. Sacred birdo. Also, we can force a trade with a Dream Trawler, potentially. Shock, Dream Trawl. Seems good. Good card. Alright. Let's see if the opponent wants the trade. Tradesies. Alright, back up to 12, but basically an expensive Oath of Kaya. Hero Thief. That Thief is well timed, but so is that Bone Crusher Giant. Let's see if the opponent will block this Phoenix of Ash or not. Because I'd take the, well, it wouldn't be a trade, but you know, they're welcome to it. It is pretty strong style of me to turn a Phoenix of Ash sideways into the face of a Thief of Sanity, so I think they know what's coming. And again, I'm going to hold this for Ashiok. No! Alright. More life gain. What a scumbag. Okay, we gotta play out more stuff. That's stuff. We can play this in Bone Crusher, or we can play this in Torbrand. I guess this in Torbrand. It's good. Let's go. Can you please run out of these annoying toys? Land. Ooh. Alright, the game is on. How do I get them to take the wrong thing? What's the worst? Iron Scorn's the worst, right? So I get them to take this and the land, or they can have a straight up Oath of Kaya? I guess. Alright. Yeah, Scorn won't kill the Torbrand. So they're going to Scorn away the Steamkin. But they don't have great attacks. Light up the stage. Unfortunately, that's not going to get to the opponent this turn on Spectacle mode. Do we just play it for 3? I guess so. If only... Sir, can I set it up for next turn? I think I can. We can go with you. And attack. Because of Torbrand. See if the opponent wants to stack 1/1s in front of it. If they do, we can get our Phoenix back sooner. Not that bad. We gotta get through these 1/1s somehow. That's 3. Okay, the 4th will do it. All right. So we've got 7 mana. Our opponent drew Fabled Passage. If we draw another land, we can Phoenix of Ash into the Reveler, which would be nice. Oh, that'll do too. That will do. Now, do I want to attack with these? We're going to draw another 3 cards. If I attack with this, the opponent will definitely trade. If I attack with this, they need to block with a lot. Let's see, they can block with this, but it only deals damage to 1 thing, I guess, because we saw how Fervent Champion worked. It only killed 1, so it just dealt 3 damage to 1 thing. It didn't deal 3 total damage. It didn't go the way I hoped, that's for sure. So, all right, let's just do this. Nice. Gassing back up with the Reveler, baby. And the scoop. Oh. Poor Esper. Did you have fun this match? Oh my god. Oh, this is so hard. I mean, Esper lost, but red deck won. It's even blue and red. Like, blue is always sad and red is always happy. This is propaganda is what this is. Fine, I had fun. I admit it. I beat an Esper deck with a mono red deck and I enjoyed it. Are you satisfied? What's wrong with me? All right. Game on. Seems good. Hit him up, champ. Temple of Enlightenment. First Esper, now blue-white? I guess it could still be Esper. You can't do this to blue-white. That's my homie. That's my dog. Alright. Steamums. Steamy Kittens on 2 on the play is good against blue-white typically. So, we'll give it a shot. Then we'll put out Wrath Protection in Annex, I think. So the opponent is holding... Well, do we? Do we put out Annex? It's not good against Teferi. Wrath is still at least a turn away. We don't want to play into a veto. I think we'll play around a Quench. Throw out a Fervent Champion and hold up Bone Crusher Giantness. If the opponent has Brazen Borrower, they still take 4. Hi-ho, Silva, away! They say that a lot in the book It. I don't remember if they do that in the movie It. You know, the spooky clown one. Guy's got a bike. Named it Silver. To beat the devil. Alright. This is fine. We're still going to hold this up. We want to make sure this card resolves. So we're going to pass turn here. And with Omen of the Sea on the stack, why not? Stompy Stomp. But we didn't want to run it into a Quench, potentially. Or Negate, or Dovin's Veto. Those are the things we were thinking about. And just because our opponent had Omen of the Sea doesn't mean they didn't have some of those cards. 2 to the bottom, yeah. There's a lot of pain coming at you. The fairy won't save you. He's going to try.
Let's slow this down.
He's going to try. Steamkin is one of the cards you can safely bounce with Teferi. Alright, we drew Shock. We can hit the opponent's face for 4. We can have our Steamkin back on the battlefield. I'd honestly love to play the Annex. The Annex means if we get Wrathed, we still have a board. So I think that's where we go. And we can't have Teferi Wrath happening to us, so we still have to kill Teferi. Oh, blue-white. Blue-white, I'm so sorry. Forgive me. This hand is slow. But it does have 2 Bone Crusher Giants. If our opponent's aggressive, it's good. But they have the Golden Egg sleeves, which is like always, they're always playing control. I'm gonna try this hand. There's a good chance I should mulligan it. You guys know I'm reluctant to mulligan. Maybe some of you smarter than me would mulligan this. Okay. We're gonna face the likes of Pelt Collector. Bone Crusher Giants are what you want. Let's just do this now. No chance of Colossus or anything like that. Yeah, I had a feeling there was a Spellbreaker. Now we need to top deck a land. Fail. Okay, we got there. I was already calling for the fail before I saw it. Alright, come on down, buddy. Square off. We got Macho Man Randy Savage. Ooh yeah, dig it. Versus the Hulkster. Well, never mind. I guess you get the Ultimate Warrior instead. What's the play? We'd run out of 4/3 Bone Giant. We could also take a hit from the Spellbreaker to get a Runaway Steamkin online, but I have a feeling something bad would happen. We could also try to Rixamati Revel our way into another land, but then we're just a 2-2 facing a 3-3, which is pretty bad. I'm going to play out the Giant. If we draw next turn, so if the opponent plays Domri's Ambush, they have a 4-4. Next turn we can try to Revel into Revel. Yeah, this is bad. This is Embercleave, right? Well, we have to try. We have to try. All right. All right. They didn't think I'd block. They thought I was coward. So now what? I don't have Collision Colossus, so the Phoenix will hit. I feel like I want Annex Hardened in the Forge, but I don't want it removed unless it's going to have 4 power. Our plays haven't been vulnerable to shock so far, so I feel like the opponent having a shock is pretty reasonable. And I think I just want to try to Revel my way into more land and better stuff. If the opponent had a Bone Crusher, I think they'd play it to keep on the offensive, so it must just be like a shock. Or just land. Let's see. Oh, don't do it now. Not now. Okay, it was a Giant. They didn't value their beatdown enough. Okay, well now I'm gonna go for a Steamkin. If you have another Giant, this sucks, but if that was your only Giant, you should have held it for another second there. No, not like this. That's a top deck, right? I guess they didn't have to play it last turn, but they could have. Yeah, they would have played it last turn. That's a top deck. So now what? We could play this Phoenix, get in, pump this to 3, and if we hit a 1-drop or a land, we get to go a little nuts. I think that's worth it. I guess just a 1-drop, but I still think it's worth it. Alright. Tordran next turn. Annex of the Forge, or Embercleave. Going to 5, though. Alright. Are we defensive Embercleaving? I might be. I think I am. Good God, what does it come to? Let the Torbrand go. And play defensive Embercleave. And eat the Questing Beast. But is that really the right play? So we have a potential 9 mana. This is 4, this is 7. Like, we can play out all of our creatures and hold the Cleave. Or discard the Cleave to the Reveler. Alright, I'm at least going... I think I've decided I'm at least going to do this. It's a lot of power. So, do I also Revel away my Embercleave? I don't think I need it to win. But I might need this toughness on the board to win. So this feels bad. Very bad. And we'll see how wrong it turns out to be this turn. Okay. Spells are getting broken, but the opponent's holding up this time. So we have to trade the Annex for it, which is fine. Make some critters. Bone Crush should be good. Can remove the Spellbreaker, which I think is the best use of it here. It can also go face. I guess it depends what Spellbreaker plans to block. So we do it like this. I think we turned it on him. I think we flipped it. They need a frickin' miracle, right? Embereth. Phoenix. It's a lot of damage. Sweet. No remorse beating the gruel. None whatsoever. Alright, I'm gonna finish it out at 5 and 3. We'll check out the rares. It's red. If I went for a s'more, I'd have won. Crippling analysis, I know. Let's get into the deck list and check it out. So, would I change anything? The deck doesn't quite have enough early play, as it feels like. I think my curve is actually kind of high. Light Up the Stage is a little bit awkward. I like the card advantage from Light Up the Stage and from the Reveler, but I feel like I need something else cheaper. Now, I hate the rest of the red 1-drops and think they're horrible. Just to be clear, because you're going to start suggesting things in the comments, and you're welcome to. You can leave me comments all the time. I'm going to tell you that every single one of them is horrible. All your suggestions, if they cost 1 red mana, all of these are horrible. I know they exist. They're bad. Spitter's probably the best of the bunch, but getting it to actually hit the opponent is still a lot of work. And what would it replace? Anything it replaces here is significantly better than the Spitter itself. I didn't have much mana trouble. The 22 lands felt okay. I think this deck is perfectly fine. There's a much more aggressive version that you can play that's lower to the ground that I'll probably showcase in a future video, but I find this one more fun. There's a little bit more card advantage and a little bit more play to it, which I enjoy. So I'd keep it just as it is. I don't have any complaints. I think it's exactly what it needs to be. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. I don't ask for that very often, to be honest. I probably should, but liking and subscribing and leaving comments really helps the channel. And please check out our sponsor, CoolstuffInc.com. Thank you for watching this video. As always, I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.